Hey everybody, this is Tom from Rocket Restorations, and today we're going to talk about Survivor Power Wagons. This thing's pretty cool. If those of you watch Dead Dodge Garage, Jamie's channel, he did a video on this last week, and I'm going to go a little bit more in depth. And the theme for today is, what do you do with a vehicle that's been sitting forever? And okay, there's a million other guys. I mean, like Derek from Vice Grip Garage is a millionaire from doing this, revivals. That's not what this video is. The previous owner already got it running, got it driving. That's great, and that's the easy part. The hard part is actually getting it to be able to safely drive on the road. So that's what we're going to cover today. And we'll go a little bit more in depth on the truck, the condition, you know, some history of the Power Wagons and all that. But basically the premise of the video today is, what do we do on a Survivor vehicle like this? So what we're going to do is this is actually my brother's truck, Gary. He's over here today to work on it a little bit. And let me kind of show you the first steps we're going to do to this thing. This truck is pretty awesome. It's really amazing. You know, everybody always complains like, oh, my steering's sloppy in my truck. Well, that's because they all have several $100,000. This one actually drives decent. I mean, it is a, you know, Power Wagon. It drives like a dump truck, but you know, the transmission's fairly tight. Like, it's really nice. And that's because it has 61,000 original miles on it. It was a farm truck out in extreme eastern Montana, almost the North Dakota border, and it's very dry out there. Unfortunately, they put this one under a cover, so it preserved it pretty well. But I mean, look, it actually has steps. Like, these things never have steps. They're always rusted out. I mean, there's a little bit of, you know, the arm pads are cracked. You know, it was a very dry climate. Here's the build tag on a truck, serial number, SO number. It's 8,000 gross vehicle weight. W200 is the model. Of course, 4-wheel drive. 5,500 pound rear axle, 3,000 front. It's a 4-speed. Rear axle is it says Dana 41 Spicer. Oh, that must be the front. The front axle is a Dana 41. Weird. I didn't even know they put that on those. Rear is a 60, 318 engine. Yeah, new process gear. The model number 128 wheelbase. So it can carry 1,750 pounds. The front can carry 1,300. And then it's 164 horsepower. I don't know. That doesn't sound right. 164 horsepower at 3,900 RPM. I don't know. And these are kind of cool right here. These are called the cert codes. So you could basically like custom make anything you wanted for your truck. Like on the CSS trucks, like all that stuff. Like they would put on the cert cards if there's like special stuff, because it's kind of like the Copel program with Chevys. You pretty much get whatever you wanted. Gas tanks, of course, behind the seat on these, and yeah, pretty much everything rubber on here is going to be a little suspect. And that's the first thing we're going to talk about. So this truck is super duper original, you know, old manned out, you know, jumper cables, has an aftermarket tag which isn't hooked up. We may try to see if we can get that working. But the problem with this truck is everything's just worn out, but it's so original. I mean, like, that's the original upper radiator hose. And like, if we're talking about a 70 Hemi Cuda here, like, you leave that stuff and preserve it as much as possible. But my brother wants to be able to drive this thing. That's the goal. Drive it out on the road and be safe. So basically anything rubber on this is completely toast. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do our best to preserve all of this stuff, and we'll save it with the truck. Echo, echo, echo. Got a nice echo underneath here. We're still not quite sure what that is. It's either for ether to start it or a vacuum source out in the farm, because it goes to the back of the manifold. But I mean, these are the original heater hoses. The way you can tell on those, the original heater hoses always have those little lines on them, and these actually still have the original Corbin clamps on them too, which is cool. These are called Corbin clamps. That's what they originally used back in the day. You know, they didn't have warm clamps at that point. So we put a block heater on this. It gets very, very cold up in northern Montana where this is. I mean, it gets like 40, 50 below zero in the winter. So you always want to have a block heater on these, because they pretty much won't start unless you do that. But you can see on the hoses here, like, see how that's getting cracked? See how that's kind of expanding there? Like, that's going to blow at some point. In fact, even when the transporter dropped this thing off, it started leaking. The original fuel line underneath here started leaking. So we've already replaced that, because you don't want leaking fuel. That's dangerous. We actually put a separate fuel filter on there too. It's really a good idea to drop the tank on these when they've been sitting this long, because You know, there's all sorts of crud in the tank, but you know, we're looking at the fuel in there and it actually looks pretty clear. I'm pretty sure the guy, so the owner who owns this is pretty old. His brother was like 85 and he's the one who actually got it out of their family ranch and got it running again. Oh, that's kind of cool. They put a fuel filter on, but that's the original fuel clamp for the original fuel filter. Man, I wonder if they threw that away. That would have been pretty cool to have. You know, the belts are all toast, you know, and all needs this stuff. So, but that's basically what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through, we're gonna preserve all the original parts as much as we can, but all the rubber needs to be replaced on this. It's a ticking time bomb. It's just waiting to explode. So we're gonna have to do the brakes. It needs motor mounts. You can see down there, they're both cracked on both sides. But man, it's so much fun working on an original truck like this. It's just so original. I don't think they did the oil filter. We have to do an oil change too. This is the LA 318, and this is the first year for it in the trucks. So anything 66 and before would have been poly. The LA came out, the LA 318 273 came out in 64 for the A bodies, and then they kind of put it across the line. The poly 318 is a great motor. They're super, super tough, but they're very heavy, and they were kind of expensive to make. They still had the single rocker shaft because it was kind of an evolution of the early Hemi. That of course had dual rocker shafts. The poly had one, but the LA motors were just cheaper. They were lighter and easier to make. I mean, these things are about 100 pounds less than a poly, somewhere around there. You know, on a 3/4 ton truck, it doesn't make that much of a difference, but you know, every pound helps on these things. You know, 100 pounds here, 100 pounds there. You know, original Montana truck, the block heaters right there. Original, actually, I think that's been changed. It's actually not the original negative, which is too bad. It's nice. The Jiffy Jet's still there, ripped. They actually have rubber on the brake hoses up here. These things move around so much. They did that kind of stuff. And hydraulic clutch too, which is nice. These have a nice heavy duty clutch on them. So but yeah, we're gonna go through. So my brother bought all the radiator hoses. We're gonna go through and do all the brakes. That'll probably be another video, but we're just gonna kind of cover, changing rubber today. So, all right, first step is to drain the coolant. All right, Gary's making some progress. So he has the bypass hose changed. He got some parts hoses from the parts store, and they're not exactly a match. I'm actually not really sure that's a radiator. 223 is an early number, so I think there's probably a swapped out radiator. So, but he's making some progress. Slow, but making some progress. Probably need a belt too, which needs to pull the part number off that. I got a million belts here. There's a chance I may have one. Here's our hose pile. Sometimes you can find one that's close and make it work. And then we got a bunch of NOS those bypass those a while ago, so that's good original Mopar stuff. And he's doing fuel lines, and we're using the green line Gates barricade hose because that's what you want. You don't want it blowing up on you. All right. And meanwhile, my brother's working on this. I am working on Daytona. It's always a good day when you work on Daytona. Fortunately on this one, we've the trainer built by our trainee guy Roy. He does a great job, and was leaving pools of fluid underneath it. We did a couple rear tail shaft seals, and we found out the rear bushing's bad. There's a bunch of play on the drive shaft going in there, so he's putting a new bushing in, and hopefully that'll fix it.
Yeah.
Ooh, speed holes. That makes the car go faster. It's great that he has a bucket underneath, but he completely missed the heater hoses. Yeah, not sure what he's gonna do about this block heater. That's like kind of a pain to do it. I do like the Pepsi can protector on there, fixer. It's a nice touch. Very farm fix there. I thought Jamie had the voltage regulator fixed, but the cover's still not off. I'll have to ask him about that. There's a lot of hoses. And none worked. He had to go to the parts store. So now he's trying to do heater hoses and kinking them. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Yeah, kind of got to keep the heater because the block heater, they usually put it in a freeze plug, so it's not very easily removed. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Almost got a cooling system. And then do the belt and then brakes. All right, system back together. You overfilled the radiator, bunching out the overflow, but that's because you didn't burp it first, but it is what it is. that on, keep that away from the elevator. New fuel filter up top. Yeah, sounds pretty good. Huh. I wonder where all that grass came from. Maybe it was somebody driving it out in the field. Yeah, pretty sure. So Gary almost got done, but he wanted to see if the 8-track worked. And if you're gonna do it right. Tommy by the Who. Yeah, I have no idea how this works. They work independently or separately? Nothing? Do you have the ignition on? Yeah. Is the battery hooked up?
Oh no.
It helps if you have the battery hooked up. Wash down the engine bay a little bit of water in the air cleaner. But yeah, it helps having the battery hooked up to see if the radio and the 8-track works.
Something's happening.
Where's the speaker? Is there a speaker? There's got to be a speaker. Here's a brake hose, by the way. Not sure I'd trust that.
And this lights up.
Does it light up?
Yeah, unless it's something. No, it's lit up.
Huh.
Not hearing anything though.
Maybe the speaker's dead. AM radio. Yeah. Sounds like it's a fail. That's a bummer. Alright, sun's going down. I'm trying to put this thing in for the day. It's a little tight over here, so I gotta watch him. Yeah, 61,000 mile original truck. 1867 Dodge Power Wagon. Seems pretty cool. Alright. Make sure he doesn't hit anything. I don't really trust my brother not to hit anything. So if you watch some of our videos, you know that we're big into numbers, like, you know, VIN tags, fender tag, decoding, stuff like that. Well, there isn't a lot on these trucks, but you know, we went through our extensive Mopar library, and we just found this was kind of a neat thing that we found in there. It's the Dodge Truck Special Paint Colors, and it says revised December 1968, which would technically be the 69 model year, but this is basically what was available on these things. But this thing is super, super cool. So, I mean, you could pretty much order anything you wanted on these trucks. Look at all these colors. There's orange, 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 like different shades of orange. I think sometimes too, when you see 999 special paint, these actually came from trucks. Beige. I just thought this was really, really neat. Different greens. I can't even remember what dealership we got this out of, but somebody had it. Different blacks. But that's a really dark green. They actually have a coat on them, and I think the DT means Dodge Truck. But like, this was for, like, you know, DOTs or fleets, or, you know, these were regular colors that they would paint your car. A lot of yellows, a lot of reds, maroons. I just thought this was really neat. I think this truck's not a special order color, but, you know, I always love seeing stuff like this. I love old dealer paperwork. And so yeah, if you have any questions, if you have a Dodge truck that's a special color, let me know what color it is, and we'll see if maybe we can match it up from our book. All right, well, it's a couple days later because I forgot to do an ending for the video, and we got distracted after I got put away. But yeah, just want to thank everybody for watching. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Gotta love Survivor original paint trucks and cars. We really, really like these. So yeah, we got all the rubber underneath the hood fixed, all the fuel lines. Next step is we've got all the brake parts ordered from Rock Auto. So that we're waiting for those to come in probably next week. Then we'll do the brakes next. And then gotta do the tires. And I know what everybody's gonna say, ooh, split rims, you're gonna die if you do it. Well, we got a local tire shop that'll fix them. So the tires are really expensive, like over $1,000 for 4 tires for this thing, which is crazy. Prices for everything are going up. But yeah, hope everybody liked the video. As I said, we'll do an update once we do the brakes on this thing. Appreciate everybody for watching. This is Tom from Rocket Restorations, and we'll talk to you soon.